Good morning. Today we'll do a passage. Okay. So the first tip, what I told you was to skim the passage. Okay. So first is of course the first one is of course your budgeting your time, and that of course we cannot do. So we'll go to skimming the passage. Now the first you have two paragraphs in this. You have to read both the paragraphs. You have to skim both the paragraphs to know the overall meaning. So first I'll start off with the first paragraph. We give undue importance to our health and treatment of diseases. A large number of medicines treat only the symptoms of the disease and not the root cause. So the first stanza, the first paragraph says something about treatment. Treatment of say maybe modern medicine, the treatment of disease. So it's telling you something about treatment. Look at the second paragraph. The second paragraph says, the yogic way of life includes a code of ethics, regulation, discipline, and more combined with prayer and meditation. So, what I understand is the second paragraph is telling you something about yoga, the importance of yoga treatment. That is, treating of disease through yoga. Now, this is what we call as a peripheral meaning. We have no time. We have to save our time. So we are not going to read the whole thing. We've got a general idea of what is there in the first paragraph and in the second paragraph. The first paragraph talks about treatment of disease. The second one talks about the yoga, the importance of yoga. Maybe that is also yoga, yogic way of treating diseases. So first, the skimming is over. Now the next tip, what I told you, was to read the questions. So let's read the question. The first question says, what do most of the medicines treat? What do most of the medicines treat? Look for a word. I told you look for a keyword. So here I think the keyword we can take is medicines and treat. How is yoga different from other treatments? So the keywords are yoga, different, and other treatments. The third one is, what is yogic way of life? So it's very clear, yogic way of life. It's very clearly given the question itself. The fourth one also, how do simple asanas help? This also, yes, the simple asanas, how do they help? It's also very clear. Then, how does sincere practice of yoga postures benefit you? So it's talking about yoga postures. Okay, yoga postures. How does yoga therapy work? Again, it's about yoga therapy. The next question is yoga better than physical exercise? How? This is for you to really read. You will know whether it is really yoga is better or the modern treatment. The other one, the other treatment way is better. Then find a word from the passage which is the antonym of shallow. So what is antonym? Antonym means the opposite of shallow. So once again we read the question. The first question is, how do most of the medicines treat? What do most of the medicines treat? How is yoga different from other treatments? What is yogic way of life? How do simple asanas help? How does sincere practice of yoga postures benefit us? How does yoga therapy work? Is yoga better than physical exercise? How? Find a word from the passage which is the antonym of shallow. Now we have thoroughly read the questions. We have marked certain keywords. Now we'll go back to the passage. Now we'll read the passage properly. Let's go back to the passage. The passage is, we give undue importance to our health and the treatment of disease. Keep a pencil with you or a pen with you. Keep a pencil or a pen with you. And now we are reading the treatment. You can read it. You can draw your line along. I can't do it on the thing. So I have the passage in front of me, the paragraph in front of me. So I am going to read. If I can't concentrate, I'm having problem with concentration, then I can draw my finger along the lines. And I have a pencil where I can mark the Answer. We give undue importance to our health and treatment of diseases. A large number of medicines treat only the symptoms of the disease and not the root cause. In fact, the cause of many chronic ailments is still being researched. It's here that yoga therapy comes to our assistance. Yoga emphasizes treatment of the root cause of an ailment. It works in a slow, subtle, and miraculous manner. Modern medicine can claim to save a life at a critical stage, but for complete recovery and regaining of normal health, one must believe in the efficiency of yoga therapy. Okay? The yogic way of life includes the code of ethics, regulations, discipline, and more combined with prayer and meditation. Even a discussion on these subjects help one relieve mental tension and change attitudes. Simple asanas help to stretch and relax the whole body and neutralize tension. The sincere practice of yoga postures benefit all levels of experience through continuous practice. Yoga postures can have a profound effect on the inner dimension of life, establishing deep claims, concentration, emotional stability, and confidence. Man is a physical, mental, and spiritual being, all the three. Other forms of physical exercises like aerobics assure only physical well being. They have little to do with the development of the spiritual or the astral body. Now, one more thing you have to remember is the questions are always asked in a sequential manner. So, always look for the question from top to bottom. Except for the vocabulary, you'll always find the answer in a very sequential order. They will never confuse you with that. So, the first question is, what's the most important? What do most of the medicines treat? So, what's the answer? They treat only the symptoms of the disease and not the root cause. See the second line itself. A large number of medicines treat only the symptoms of the disease and not the root cause. So it's very clear because you've already read the questions, you know what it is. Then what was the second question? How is yoga different from other treatment? So how will you say? The yoga treats the root cause of an ailment. So yoga treats the very next line, see, it treats the root cause of any ailment. So it's given there. In fact, the cause of many, it's given the third line itself. Fourth line, yoga, because the dot I put was not very dark for me. So yoga emphasizes treatment of the root cause of an ailment. So what was the second question? Second question was, how is yoga different from other treatments? So yoga emphasizes the treatment of the root cause of an ailment. That's the answer. Now, what is yogic way of life? So again, in the second paragraph, it's given very clearly the first line. The yogic way of life includes a code of ethics, regulations, discipline, and more combined with prayer and meditation. Okay. The next question is, how do simple asanas help? It's again given as, it's the very next line. See, the next line is given there. Simple asanas help to stretch and relax the whole body and neutralize tension. See, this all comes because you've already read it. You've already marked it. I've marked it as I was reading because I knew the question. So I've marked it. So I've saved my time. How does yoga therapy work? Yoga postures. See, the sincere practice of yoga postures benefit all level of experience through continuous practice. Yoga postures can have profound effect on the inner dimension of life, establishing that is, if you want to write more, you can write more. So sincere practice of yoga postures benefit all level of experience through continuous practice. You can also write yoga postures have a profound effect on the inner dimensions life. So you can also write that if you want to. You will never lose your mark, but you will always gain. You will never lose your marks. How? What was the next question? How does yoga therapy works? So yoga therapy, what is given? They have a profound effect on the inner dimension of life, establishing deep claim, concentration, emotional stability, and confidence. Okay, so that's also given there. They have, so that is what I told you. See, posters have a profound effect on the inner dimension of life, establishing deep claim, concentration, emotional stability, and confidence. Okay, so that is also given there. The next question is, how is yoga better than physical exercise? So what are you going to say? Yes, yoga is better than physical exercise. Why? Because they develop a spiritual, mental, and physical well-being. How is it different? Yes, the answer is yoga is better than physical exercise because all of the forms of exercise like aerobics, before that itself, other forms of exercise, wait, just before that, physical exercise assures only physical well-being, whereas yoga develops the spiritual, the mental, and the physical well-being. So this is what the spiritual, the mental, and physical well-being. It is there, but it's not a mentally. You can see it's there. You have to make that out and write. Next, what is yoga better than physical, except because I've told you. Find a word from the passage which is the antonym of shallow. The antonym of shallow, you know the meaning of shallow. Shallow means it's not very deep. It's a very simple word. So usually when they give you the question, they always tell you the paragraph. It is in the second paragraph, which I have not written here, in the second paragraph. And it's very easy for you to understand because shallow is a word very familiar to you. So the answer for this, the antonym, the opposite for this is deep. Okay, so these are the tips. I have used all the tips. Okay, I told you what is confusing. Don't spend too much of time, just go to the next question. I got suddenly confused because I was just looking into the book and suddenly I just got confused. Otherwise it's very easy when you do. So that way, this is a way you have to do to answer this work. Okay, so I hope you have understood something. So thank you all of you.